A warm good morning, Saintgits. Thank you for inviting me for this special show. And the theme is very interesting, from glitches to gold. We all see glitches as a part of failure. The system is shut down. Nothing is going to happen anymore. And in my personal life, in my experience, I have seen glitches in each and every turning point or the meaningful goals that I have achieved so far. Let me begin my lifespan. I am coming from a small village known as Annanadu, which is very close to Chalakudi. I grew up in that village, and I still stay in my village. That's where my hometown is. I studied in a local Malayalam medium school. And from my earlier days, precisely if I say from my 4th standard onwards, I wanted to become a scientist. I don't know why. Maybe because scientists were heroes in my time when I was reading a lot of books. And at that time, I didn't know what a scientist means in the real scenario. I didn't know how it looks like, and I don't know what it takes to become a scientist. But I was dreaming from that standard onwards to become a scientist. And it was after my plus 2, I was concentrating on chemistry as my stream of science where I wanted to become. And that's where my journey started from UG onwards. I always wanted to become scientist in chemistry. And I had no other ambition. And even my BSc, I only opted chemistry as first option, second option chemistry, and third option chemistry. Normally people will try to secure their seat by giving chemistry, physics, or mathematics, or biology. But if I don't get chemistry, I don't think I need to study anything else. And that was my ambition, and that was my strongest ambition, to become a scientist in chemistry. And I became one. I did my PhD. Not just one, I completed a couple of PhDs. I started publishing papers. And even then, I was not satisfied enough. This is not where I wanted to become, because merely publishing papers or filing few patents didn't really satisfy the scientist in me. So once I completed my PhD from Australia, where I invented some technology, in a layman terms, a technology or an improvisation of an existing technology to make more bioavailable of the ingredients of any interest, any molecule, to make it more bioavailable. And at that time, it was a niche, cost-effective technology. And by that time, I had few customers already across the globe. So I started pitching into them. And at that time, I just wanted to resign my job. I resigned my job without seeing any lights. I took a bold decision. I didn't want to continue my job. And I wanted, by that time, I got into some academic positions, an invited professorship or something, but those were not a permanent job at all. So I started pitching several customers or corporates my innovation. And they were all interested. Okay, it was a good technology. And they wanted products. See, merely idea will not work out. People need a ROI always, return on investments. any business or any work will pursue once there is a return on whatever you invest. So they wanted products, not just idea. So in front of me, there were two options. One is to migrate to wherever they are, maybe to US, and work for them. Otherwise, create these products in-house in India by some means. And that's why I given the title of my talk as an accidental entrepreneur. I never dreamt to be an entrepreneur at all. I never thought of becoming a businessman. I was always wanted to become a scientist. Now, to satisfy the scientist in me, we need enormous funds because you need to create something. It's an expensive affair. So you need to invest money, however good scientist you are. The government funds are there, but these are limited. So, as you know, research is an experimental stuff. It's sort of a gambling. You can't guarantee a product out of your innovation. You can't guarantee any immediate revenue out of any innovation. So you need to invest a lot of funds. Being from I am coming from a lower middle class family. I don't have any money at that time to invest the kind of research I wanted to pursue. I was thinking how to get revenue, how to get funds to satisfy the researcher in you. That was the motto behind this entrepreneurial journey. So the customers wanted product, I don't have money, and I am not ready to migrate to any other place. I wanted to be in my own home village. I wanted to be with my parents. I wanted to be with my family. I just want to roam in my village. Nothing actually excites me apart from all these. Being in my home is like in heaven. Then the only option left to me was create the products and give it to them. These are tech-oriented product, technology-oriented product, biotech product, food supplements, and a sort of a medicinal supplements, vitamins, minerals, with an enhanced bioavailability technology, which requires sophisticated laboratories and sophisticated manufacturing lines. We had nothing. We had nothing absolutely. And that was the time COVID hit us very badly. We had movement restrictions. Nothing was there. And by the time I already left my job. And that was a crisis. I was thinking everything is going to end at that point of time. But innovation is having a power. It can create negotiations, bargaining capacity. If you have a great innovation, you can negotiate because that innovation belongs to you. And people think that there is a benefit out of this innovation. And I exactly used that innovation as a tool or as an investment to create something new. I started pitching into the customers, and I didn't ask for a fund. I didn't ask for any fund to anybody. I didn't ask funding from the bank because I don't have any asset to pledge, so obviously I won't get the funding. I asked customers to get me an advance payments so that I can mobilize the product for them, and that was a key to start what you are seeing today. And they did. Yes, okay, there is a business opportunity, but where do you do this? You don't have a research setup. You don't have a manufacturing line. How do you do this? And I always speak to my colleagues. I always speak to my students. Always use what is available around you. Don't look for a 3-story building as your office or any manufacturing line. You have a lot of resources available in and around you. And that's exactly I did. I collaborated with universities for getting the research support. I collaborated with contract manufacturing organizations where they do the work as per your instructions with all sophistication in place. Only thing is you have to struggle a little bit. And that's what we did. At that time, I had to use my personal car. That was my office. That was the first office. And we had to run around everywhere in India to make things happen. Because when you don't have anything and you are sinking, that's what I said when I started my talk. It was all glitches actually framed what we are seeing today. Because if I had all the resources in place, at that time I would have even struggled. But I had zero resources, so I used the existing resources available to us. But you had to struggle. I had to travel north, south, west, east, everywhere in my car with a couple of people. And my brother also joined, my wife joined. And these are the resources which are available within you. So use all these things. And I started producing product, very sophisticated product. And then I started giving to the customers. Then, obviously, there are a lot of issues, quality concerns, lead time. Issues are never ending. But those times, we had sleepless nights to make this happen. Why? Because there is only one motive, not the business as an empire. It's the technology, it's the research that I wanted to always pursue. If I fail, I had to stop my research for then and there. And within 3 years, we built several verticals, and we started exporting. And now we export to more than 48 countries, including our biggest exporting is to US, Europe, Japan, and Korea. These are the most toughest and regulated and very high-end demanding customers in the world. And we could do that. From what we imagined as a kid's play, now we have grown to this level, to 48 countries, crossing more than few millions of turnover, and different verticals altogether, employing more than 100 employees. Out of that, close to 50 people are scientists. So not only I could able to do the research, I could make several scientists at our facility. And because of the drive and the glitches that we faced, and multiple glitches, I can't figure out one single problem as problem, because everything was problem. We couldn't figure out one single problem as the main problem. Everything was problem because we are creating something which is not existing. With zero investment, zero money in hand, it's very difficult to make a high-end biotechnology company. And the takeaway from all these exercises are not a personal gain of creating a ecosystem. It's the attitude towards a problem which you are trying to solve. How to solve the problem creatively as youngsters. This is my message to each one of you. Thank you once again for inviting me to this excellent event. Thank you very much.